Today's guest inside the Edward Jones chatting cage is the Cincinnati Reds nominee for the prestigious 2016 Roberto Clemente Award. His on-field talents exceeded only by his off-field endeavors. He is, in short, a good dude. And his name is Michael Lorenzen, the former first-round pick of the Cincinnati Reds back in 2013. Michael, we hope that you're ready to step inside the cage today. And how's it going here on this Wednesday for you?
Yeah, it's been going good. Thank you for that introduction, and I believe I'm ready.
Awesome. That is good news to hear. And Michael, the fans are ready too. And fans,
Yeah.
three ways to get involved. Fire up the webcam or submit questions either through the MLB Fans app or through Twitter by using the hashtag #ChattingCage. And Michael, let's dive right in from the MLB Fans app. As I alluded to, this is from MLB_Kelly. And her question for you is, are you happy with the progress you've made since coming back after having those elbow issues?
Yeah, it's a really good question, and absolutely. I went through a ton of obstacles, and what I'm most satisfied about is that I never gave in. I kept moving forward, I kept pressing on, and it's paying off. And it didn't come easy. There was a lot of struggle through it, but this year's gone pretty good, and I just think that's due to the hard work and, like I said, never giving up. So yeah, I'm really satisfied with the progress that I've made this year, health-wise, mentally, and performance-wise as well.
Yeah, the hard work is one thing, but to have the positive attitude is a whole other aspect, and you had both of those in recovering from those issues, and you've become a key part of this Reds bullpen, especially in the second half here in 2016. Michael, right now, the first of many fans are ready to line up and fire away inside the Edward Jones chatting cage. So, fan, please state your name,
All
your
right.
location, and your question for Michael Lorenzen.
Hey, Michael, this is Daniel Bright in Louisville, Kentucky. How are you doing?
All right, good, Daniel. How you doing?
Hey, my question is, first of all, I love your tattoo of 116, and I was curious what your favorite song and artist was.
My favorite song and artist. Man, there's so many, but I walk out to "Awesome God" by R. Swift, so I would have to say that is all time my favorite song. Favorite artist, it's pretty tough. I always go back and forth. I'll name off a few. Lecrae's always the one that gets so much just because he's so proactive in what he does with the people and his message. But KB's excellent. Andy Minio's awesome. I love Social Club. I'm sure you've heard of Social Club. Also, Reconcile's someone who is always overlooked. He's from Texas, and he's kind of got that southern rap, southern hip-hop style. But, man, I can listen to him pregame every single day. I love that guy.
Michael, sounds like you've got a pretty diverse iPod at your disposal, no question. And Michael, right now we go back to the MLB Fans app. This one from Goldie Snake 44. His question for you is, what batter or batters do you perhaps fear the most in baseball?
Do I fear the most?
Or maybe they give you the most problems.
Is that was that okay? Give me the okay. I would say, yeah, I guess that's the adjustment that I made from last year to this year, is not having any fear when I'm out there and pitching. So statistically, I'd have to go back and look, but I know last year, let me try and think. Obviously, Cespedes gave me a headache. I know he hit like a 130-mile-an-hour line drive off of me last year in Detroit, and then he hit a 130-mile-an-hour fly ball over the center field fence earlier this year. So I would say Cespedes.
And I would dare say that you're not alone in that assessment. That's a guy that gives problems to a lot of pitchers across Major League Baseball. That is no question about that. Michael, right now we're going to go with a fan, one of many, like I said, ready to go onto the webcam and fire away. So, fan, they're right there. State your name, your location, and your question, please, for Michael Lorenzen.
Hi, Michael. It's Lisa Bemis from Cincinnati. You see me there all the time.
Awesome.
First of all, my
Yeah.
sincere condolences on the loss of your father. I want to say how much I've enjoyed watching you pitch, but watching you hit that home run was absolutely surreal. I was so glad I was there. My question is, if you had your preference, which would you rather be? a starter, a long reliever, or the closer?
I appreciate you, your support and reaching out the way you have, in regards to my dad and everything. But to answer your question, I want to be a starter. I know I can be a starter, and I guess that's why I want to be one, because I want to do what I know I can do. I know I can also be a long reliever, and I know I can also be a closer. So it just comes down to what the Cincinnati Reds need and what my teammates need. I think that's obviously what should be most important to me, and that really is. I'm enjoying pitching out of the bullpen right now, and so I definitely have no problem with it. But in my heart, when I know that, if I put the work into it, I could be a successful starter, that's something that I'd like to do.
And Michael, going back to what Lisa said initially, that of course it was a surreal moment when you hit your first career home run very shortly after the passing of your father. Just a moment that was so touching and heartwarming for you and for so many fans. If you could kind of take us through the emotions of that when you connected with the ball, when you're rounding the bases, when you touch home plate. If you could put that into words, please do so for us.
Yeah, I can do my best. When they told me I was going to hit, right when they told me that I was going to hit, and that I was up 5th, I knew that I was going to hit a home run. I just knew it. And I think I might have been up 4th or something. I just knew that I was going to get a chance to hit, and I was going to hit a home run. And so when I walked up to the plate, my dad's song came on, and I knew it was going to happen. And I was familiar with the pitcher. I knew that he liked to throw really hard, and I knew that I'm a pitcher, so he's not going to try and throw me anything other than his best thing, which is his fastball. So I got in the box, and I'd already seen it in my mind of me hitting the ball over the fence. And when it happened, I choked up right before he threw the pitch, because I was like, he's throwing 98. I should probably choke up a little bit. So I choked up right when I hit it. You'll see me hold my bat in the air, because I had already seen that play in my mind. And it was like, wow, I couldn't believe that it actually happened. And I was just, there was so much going on internally that is hard to explain, hard to put into words. But as I was rounding the bases, I was just, overcome with joy, with sadness, just with everything going on. And, when I hit home plate, I didn't know what else to do other than, to show my appreciation for what God did for me in that one moment, other than to point to the sky, and so it was an extremely emotional time for sure, and it definitely brought comfort to me, to my family, and I get messages constantly now about how that story and how that moment has affected those who have lost a parent or lost a family member recently, and how it's brought some comfort and joy to them. So, and I'm able just to relate to them as well. So I think it's been a crazy time, but it's been really good in a way to use this story to serve people and encourage people through it.
It was as if it was a scene out of a movie, but it was better because this was real life. And Michael, well said by you. I know that's a tough thing to put into words, but like you said, you knew it was going to happen. It happened. It was one of the most incredible moments in the 2016 baseball season, no question. Right now, Michael, back to the webcam. Another fan ready to step inside the Edward Jones chatting cage. So, fan, your name, your location, and your question, please.
Hey, Michael. My name is Luke. I'm from New York. And I was just wondering, what's it like adjusting to life in Cincinnati coming from California?
Yeah, it's been good. I've been traveling since I've been I would say like 13. I've been traveling to different states and playing baseball, so I'm kind of used to the different things. I've been to Cuba, I've been to the Netherlands, I've been to Mexico, so it's not like so much of a culture shock. Change for me at least isn't so much of a culture shock, so it hasn't been bad at all. What I love about Cincinnati is, we have the Reds and we have the Bengals, and everyone's diehard here. So that's what I love about it. In California, we have so much going on. We have, the beach, we have 12 different professional teams that people cheer for. So, and there's so many people out there, so there's not so much passion for the game of baseball like there is here. So, I've really enjoyed it here in Cincinnati because of that.
Okay, Michael, right now, time for the EDJ question of the day. It's a multi-part question involving one of my favorite things, food. So here we go. The question is, Michael, have you tried Skyline Chili? If so, give us your impressions, and had you heard about Skyline Chili before you came to the Queen City?
Okay, I never heard about Skyline Chili. Actually, that's one thing that when I got drafted by the Reds, my dad told me that I was going to have to try. So he knew about it. So actually, when I signed my contract, that's the first thing I did. I went to Skyline Chili. I had it. I enjoyed it, but I'm not going to lie to you when I say I haven't had it since. Being a professional athlete, we got to fuel our bodies the proper way, and Skyline Chili probably isn't the best thing to be feeding myself before a game or after a game. So, yeah, I guess if I wasn't a professional athlete, I'd eat it some more.
Yeah, Michael, well said there. Skyline Chili is great, but in the role that you're in, perhaps you should have that in moderation. I think that's good advice for anybody. Michael, let's go back to some of our social questions from the MLB fans app. This one from Ollie Q, and he asks quite simply, how honored will you be if you receive the 2016 Roberto Clemente Award?
Yeah, just it would be, a huge honor for me to do that. Ever since I became a Christian, I've just thought about how I was going to use this game to serve people, and he was someone who did that. So I was always looking up stuff of Roberto Clemente, and I was just super inspired by him and the way he lived his life and the way he sacrificed his life for others. And so, like I said, that's just something that I've always visualized myself doing, of just serving people and bringing hope to people, just through the platform of baseball and Major League Baseball. So now that it's finally here, I've been able to do that as much as I can, and just to be honored with the Roberto Clemente Award, just even being a nominee is an honor. And so yeah, if I win that award, it'll be the icing on the cake, but that's definitely not why I do it. But I know that the Clemente family, sitting down with them, talking to them, they're really happy with how I've been able to honor Roberto and honor the Clemente family.
And of course, Michael, it's hard not to notice that you wear the number 21. You're sporting the number 21 currently on your T-shirt. That, of course, was the jersey number of the legendary Roberto Clemente. Are there any tie-ins there?
Yeah, so I did a missions trip in Puerto Rico where we would have camps. We had about 7 camps, one a day, and we'd have all the kids and we'd teach them. We'd had infield coaches from Tony Graffinino, who was a big league infielder. I was teaching the pitching. We had catching coaches, and so we would teach the kids baseball skills, and then after we'd get the family and the kids and we would share the gospel and teach a Bible message and how God saved our lives. And that's really what we're here to do for you, is to bring that message to you. And the Clementes were with us every step of the way, and I was able to spend some quality time with them, and I was able to actually, Vera Clemente's eating dinner right next to me, and it was just, for me, I couldn't believe that I was actually, in Roberto Clemente's house, looking at all of his stuff and seeing what he had there, and just with his family. And so I sat down with them and said, hey, if number 21 ever opens up with the Reds, would you mind if I wore it in honor of Roberto Clemente? And they said, absolutely, we would love it. And we ended up trading Todd Frazier, who I thought for sure would be here for a really long time. We traded him soon after, and so right when we did that, I contacted Rick Stowe, our clubhouse manager, and asked him and told him why I wanted to wear 21, and he was kind enough to let me honor Roberto Clemente in this way.
Tremendous, tremendous story, and I'm sure an experience those kids overseas will never, ever forget. That goes without saying. One more fan ready to step inside the old chatting cage. So, fan, your name, your location, and your question, please.
Hey, Michael, it's Tyson from Ohio. If you weren't a Major League Baseball player, who would your favorite player right now be, and who would your favorite team be?
If I wasn't a Major League Baseball player, well, man,
tough one.
Let's see. When I was in college, so we can go that route. When I was in college, I didn't have a favorite team, but I liked certain players on different teams, and I would follow them. I grew up in Anaheim, so the Angels, I always had a thing for the Angels, but Andrew McCutchen was someone who I always loved to watch play, and just the way he played center. Five-tool player, the ultimate five-tool player, and he looked like he had a lot of fun. So I would always watch highlight videos of him playing center field and hitting homers and stuff like that. And so, yeah, he's in my division now, so it's pretty cool that I get to play against him a couple times a year.
And Michael, of course, he was the Roberto Clemente Award winner in 2015. So maybe come the next couple months, you might have something in common with him. If you are the winner of this award here in 2016, we certainly wish you luck there. Michael, that's going to wrap things up. Our thanks to you. We certainly hope you enjoyed your time inside the Edward Jones chatting cage, and hope we can do it again soon. Thanks to you once again.
Right on. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
All right, Michael Lorenzen of the Cincinnati Reds joining us right here on the Edward Jones chatting cage. Be sure to join us next time right here on MLB.com.